Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the grandfather's house. It is Battle Scroll Day, and I wanted to go through some of the nice buffs that we got. We did get a few, not significant, but a few very nice buffs. One very significant buff that is going to change how we play a lot. I just wanted to go over some of these stuff. First thing I want to do is I want to go over some of the points. And one unit got changed, and I'll talk about it here. Bloeb is the first one. He got changed. His spell got verified to be what we think it is. It's not a huge buff. It's actually exactly what it was supposed to be. As they intended, you get one 4-up source to do one mortal wound. They don't get wards against it, but it's still bad. You'd never cast it over another spell or one of our other spells, especially the unlimited spell. We would never want to do that piddly damage on a 4-up versus having -1 to wound on something. But he went down 20 points, so that's nice. Gut Rot went down 20 points. That's wonderful. He fits better into more strategies. He's cheaper. Him and a group of Rotmire now is only 130. And that's very nice. It makes it more comfortable to fit into more lists. Harbinger went down, but his points aren't his problem. His scroll is the problem. Like, maybe he could fit into some niche list now if you just needed a tanky person to hold enhancements. He is still the Walmart version of a Lord of Affliction. But he's probably going to be picked over a Lord of Blights now, if you just want that tanky hero to hold a few things. It's not bad. He's a good Rustfang holder. The enhancement's pretty good on him for Grandfather's Blessing. It could see some niche play. I'm not going to count him completely out now that he's only 170, but still not going to be a go-to. The entire Blight King package went down. Both heroes went down 20 points. Blight Kings themselves went down 10. I think that's excellent. It's wonderful. Mortal spam lists are going to feel more comfortable now that the lieutenants are priced at what I think they should have been the whole time. Definitely some more play with those. The other two Megathords went down 20 points as well as Blow-Up. And I think that's good. I think they were a little pricey, Orgoth's especially at 340, even though he is the best one still by far. It's just a nice little room. You can add more stuff into their list. They're still strong. They're still viable picks. It's just a really nice buff. Poxbringer went down 10 points. He's a rough one as it was. Even with him being the same points as a Sorcerer, you'd almost never want him over at Sorcerer, because that Plague Scion slot is going to be filled by a Bile Piper or Spoilpox. Never him. I think for this guy to see play, he'd have to be 100 points and he'd have to get a spell. Or if he got just a normal good spell, that would be decent. Like, his ability he has right now is not worth taking over a Bile Piper or a Spoilpox. Unless you've already got both of these and you're willing to go real heavy. But I still don't see a world where that's happening. Because you'd want Rodigus and a Guo or two Guos. And that's their lieutenant spots. So he'd be a whole nother drop. So I still don't see where Poxbringer's going to fit in. But maybe in some lists. You can make a niche call for him. The free all-out attack's not bad. But it's not great either. It's Plague Bears. Rodigus going down 20. It's nice. I still think he's too expensive. I think it's better. You can put him in more lists. But I don't think 20 points is enough. Like, he'd have to be cheaper than a Guo for me to want to consider him. But it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's pretty good. Glocken went down 20 points. So about half of my competitive list went down 20 points. And it's nice. And there's other changes that make the Glocken significantly more viable. And I'll be going over those in a minute as well. Stay tuned, because it's really exciting stuff. The Glocken is going to have a lot more play now. Nurglings went down 10 points. With their deep strike ability gone, the fact that they were 110 was a crime in the first place. At 100 points, auto wound, they're cheap. 12 wounds, if you don't kill the 4, then the heals back up. I think that they're viable still. Like, the Morbidex Nurgling package got much better with these point drops. You just saved 40 points in that list. But Nurglings, like now, with them being 100 points, they're going to fill that nice little hole of I have just a little bit of points left, and I don't want to upgrade anything into something better. So they're going to be that nice little sit on attactive, go to a side objective. They're going to be a unit that you auto-run for take the flanks and not care if it lives or dies. I think they're great. 100 points is wonderful. Blight Kings went down 10 points, and I think it's nice. I don't know if spamming Blight Kings is going to be viable yet. I think they need a little more help, but with the Kings and the Plagues and Blights going down, I can comfortably see running 10 plus Blight Kings. I don't think I would go more than 10, 15 at the absolute max, but that's about where the limit would lie, and that's still, I mean, hold on. So if you went 15 Blight Kings, nope, not 5, what am I doing? 15 Blight Kings, 190 points, so that's 3 groups, so 570, and then 300 points if you have both heroes. It's only 900 points, that's less than half your army. That's very reasonable, actually, to do something like that. And then you'd probably add a couple of unit of drones for fast stuff, Hordy. You could skip one of the big guys. You'd probably want either a Great Unclean one, and that cuts you out of a Magath Lord. Yeah, you probably cut that. Run 2 sorcerers, then a Magath Lord, Gorgots. You still got 200 points left after all that. Which, I mean, that's another unit of drones. You can go on, actually, another unit of Blight Kings wouldn't be terrible either. 2 units of Rotmire Creed would be good in that. A couple of Plague Bears just to have them run up the board and be dummies. Yeah, that's not actually a bad list. There's play there now. So all you people who really love the Mortals list, you got stuff, and you can do it. But that's all of our points changes. All very nice. Some nicer than others, but we're going to have an easier time making more variety in list, which was fun. I don't know if you noticed in my videos, but a lot of my lists started to become more samey just because the points were difficult to make work. Now I can make some more interesting ones for you guys. But these aren't the exciting points. These are nice, but these are not the exciting points of the buffs. This is the exciting points of the buffs. So there's 2 main changes. One of them I got verified. The other one I have not gotten verified yet. So, first one I'm going to look at is Desperate Remedies. This is the one I didn't get verified yet. It says now, instead of healing any damage, it says heals 1 or more. So I believe that means if your opponent does a rally, they at least have to roll 1/4 up in the rally now. Before, all they had to do was declare that they were going to rally, and they would remove your disease. Now it looks like they have to roll 4 up, which it's not that unlikely they won't roll a 1/4 up. It happens sometimes, and it's nice. But I need to get that one verified. But the one that I did get verified, and is the main reason I'm making this video, is our new passive Burst of Pustules. Every time a disease unit dies, you pick a unit with a 9 of it on a 3-up, you get to give that unit diseased. Now your opponent does get to pick which model is last to be removed, which means you have to go from that last model and pick a unit with a 9. But that's still huge. And it's not just from disease damage. It can be from combat damage. It can be from being shot with Rotmire or the Great Unclean One. It can be any kind of damage. So, say you have a big melee unit near the middle of this disease. You run in, you kill it, you hit that 3-up, now you disease something in the back line. Well, then you have 2 options. You can either spread immediately from that unit, or you can start your disease damage and spread to something else, maybe even further back and more valuable. So, say they have a screen up near their front line, and it dies from disease damage. Well, you now have a 3-up to spread that disease damage to a unit in the back. And then, after that's done, then you can activate this ability and spread disease everything within 3 of that. Now, you don't get the damage for that turn, but you would get a lot of just more spread for the next turns coming up, and it makes it a lot harder for some armies to deal with healing wise. And I think this is the buff we needed. It leads to a lot of play. It leads to a lot of being able to infect stuff that we wouldn't be able to get to before. And it's just so much. outside of 9 is a lot harder to play around than outside of 3. And it's wonderful. And this is what I was most excited about with this War Scroll. And there was one other thing I wanted to go over. This affects us indirectly, but it's a great buff for us. First of all, Morbid got nerfed a little bit, and it's nice. I love it. Because we're not a faction that can really take advantage of Morbid. We were kind of just the ones that would have to suffer through it. Like if they unbind if you unbind another spell, they can't try and resummon that same on the spell anymore. Which is wonderful and great. That means we're not going to be hit with shackles every single turn, hopefully. Where is it? Oh, and Purple Sun can now be banished. And you can make them blow up their own Morbid on their own units now. Or Malevolent Maelstrom, which is just wonderful. It's still going to be strong, but it is not going to be overpowered as like it was. And where is it? Should be in this page. So, oh, map's probably near the top. Where is it? Alright, here it is. I scrolled past it like 3 times looking for it. It's this little section right here. For the new priority target, you add 1 to hit and wound rolls for attacks made by models to the honor guard unit. That is the target general or enemy's honor guard if they're within 12. So no more getting shot by sentinels from 30 inches away or raptors from 20 some inches away. Now we have a little bit of safety. This makes things like the Glockus and Rodigus significantly better. It makes having more than 1 unit in your general's entourage not the end of the world. So it's easier to go down to 2 drops if we want to. This is a very, very good change to us. We can put like a Rotmire Creed unit and a unit of Blight Kings in the General's Regiment now. And depending on the match, we can go, alright, there's a lot of Vanguard on the other side of the board. I won't Bodyguard. Or alright, that's a lot of, I don't know, something squishy like Skaven or something. You wouldn't really want the Bodyguard rule. You'd rather have like, okay, +1 to hit and wound against the General's Regiment stuff. It's a lot of more flexibility we can do. And it's honestly probably the best change for us regarding like using the Glocken. Because now, like, within 12, that's the Glocken's threat range. Like, if you're within 12 of me, I can move 6 and charge you next turn. And that's wonderful. Also, look at all these wonderful nerfs to Morbid Conjuration. It's so good. It's so great. Let that one become less relevant, because we were never a good user of this anyway. Ravenix Jaws kind of sucks that we got this nerf, but you know what? I'll take it alongside the Purple Sun getting that same one, and these 2 other nerfs are fantastic. But those are the main rules I wanted to go over today. Just give you guys an update. This was a very, very good one for Nurgle. We gained a lot of bonuses. We gained good points drops, a brand new passive that is frankly a game changer for how we can play our army. And it's just wonderful. We get to try new stuff. We're going to be a lot stronger than we were, which is nice. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll have some more videos out for you soon. I have one more video that's going to be released with the old rules. That should be out this weekend, I believe. Or I might release it earlier now that we have the new rules. And then I'm going to try and get you at least a couple more by the weekend for with the new stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope this information was helpful to you. And I hope that you have some good ward rolls in the future. Everybody, have a good day.